On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. It dropped a second bomb on Nagasaki, Japan 3 days later. These two bombs killed between 130,000 and 225,000 people. The destructiveness of these attacks hastened the termination of World War II in Asia. The Japanese government surrendered less than a month later on September 2, 1945, to avoid the incredible human, economic, and military costs associated with additional nuclear attacks. The integration of these weapons into the national security strategies of multiple states simultaneously altered the course of international politics. The world has not been the same since. The United States has sought consistently to deny nearly all other states access to nuclear weapons for multiple reasons. The first stems from their sheer destructiveness. The bombs dropped at Hiroshima and Nagasaki were relatively small compared to others that have been tested since. They had respective yields of 15 and 20 kilotons. This means that these bombs had the equivalent explosive power of 15,000 and 20,000 tons of TNT. The largest bomb ever tested by the Soviet Union had an explosive power about 3,000 times as large as those bombs. The Tsar Bomba had a yield of 50 megatons, which is equivalent to exploding 50 million tons of TNT. We can also think about the destructiveness of these bombs by imagining what would happen if they were dropped on an American city. While the bomb dropped on Hiroshima killed between 90 and 145,000 people, an equivalent-sized nuclear weapon dropped on Midtown Manhattan today would kill over 500,000 people. Those horrific numbers are relatively small compared to what would happen if a 50 megaton nuclear bomb the size of Tsar Bomba was dropped on Midtown Manhattan today. And we'll show you that with this map right here. That single bomb would kill about 7.6 million people and leave another 4.3 million people injured. We can also examine what would happen if Tsar Bomba was dropped on downtown Austin. There, it would kill about over 800,000 people and leave another over 400,000 people injured. The largest point of working through these examples is to illustrate why the United States has worked so hard to prevent most other countries from acquiring nuclear weapons. Their sheer destructiveness poses a significant threat to any targeted society. Second, the development of nuclear weapons has radically changed the challenges associated with protecting a civilian population from external threats. In the pre-nuclear era, the militaries of states fought each other with conventional weapons. These conventional weapons included tanks, machine guns, bombs, artillery, airplanes, swords, bayonets, grenades, and rifles. States could protect their civilian populations in the pre-nuclear era by using their own armies or militaries to block the access of foreign armies trying to seize their home territory and kill their citizens. Foreign states could only threaten a government's people if it could first defeat the military forces protecting them. This meant that the richest countries in the world could protect their people simply by building large militaries capable of blocking access to their homeland. Their civilians could not be attacked until the military forces protecting them were defeated first. Now, this changed slightly with the advent of airplanes. An attacking plane could fly over a front and drop bombs on a city. However, such attacks could still be defended against with anti-aircraft artillery or fighter planes that could shoot down an incoming aircraft. A state's ability to rely on defensive maneuvers to protect its home territory and its people dropped dramatically with nuclear-armed missiles. These weapons had two unique attributes: their destructiveness and their ability to permeate or go through defensive shields. Technically, it's incredibly difficult to shoot down an incoming missile traveling thousands of miles an hour. This means that states can no longer rely on defensive capabilities to protect their civilian populations. The United States could build an army with 10 million soldiers, and it still wouldn't be able to shoot down every incoming missile launched by, say, Russia or China. In the nuclear era, the United States has had to alter its national security strategy from one based on defense to one based on deterrence. A strategy of deterrence tries to protect a civilian population by using threats to launch a military strike, rather than actually launching the military strike. We will introduce the concepts of deterrence and secure second strike capabilities in the next segment to think about how nuclear weapons might paradoxically reduce the likelihood of large-scale war.